Put your hands together real loud for Chaitanya KVK.
Yeah, following Elsa. That's super fun. Yeah, but you guys have to give me the benefit of doubt because, as you can probably tell, I'm not from the US. I was not born here. I know, shocking. I was born in India, but the country has assimilated me pretty well, so thank you for that. Now, before we begin, who here likes art? Oh, lots of people. You, sir, what do you like?
Van Gogh.
I don't even know why I asked. I don't have no idea. The only art I get is graffiti because at the end of the day, it's just stylish letters. I can read them and be informed, right? Like I learn something from it. I also like the fact that graffiti, the usual canvas that people use for graffiti is bathroom walls. Because when I'm in a bathroom, I'm like, I've got to spend like 15 seconds here. I'm going to waste all my time here. There's something I should be doing to be constructed now, right? And then I read something written right in front of me, and I'm like, information right there. I'm like, for a good time, call Brittany. Good to know. And Dagon rules, huh? All right, I know now. Cool. So speaking of restrooms, that actually ties back into why I left India and came out to the US. So this happened when I was a kid, right? Back home in India, I was in this house where the restroom was detached from the rest of the house. So we had to get out from the house, circle all the way around it to get to the restroom. That's fine, no big deal, right? But growing up as a kid, I was really scared of the dark. And I also had this weird notion that if I ever switched lights on the way there, the monsters would know where I was, zero in, and get me. So I devised a clever mechanism for getting around this, right? What I did was I used to sneak in all ninja-like, no lights. I just go by the sense of smell, right? Because the bathroom smells wonderful. And then I get there, but once when I'm in the bathroom, I go by the sense of sound, right? I start peeing randomly, and when the water hits the water, you got it right. Like, that's the spot. So I used to go in and orient myself as needed, And then when I hit the water, I know I'm doing it right. Everything's good. But this one time, though, I walked in and I started peeing. 20 seconds in, I had to pee a lot that night. 20 seconds in, there was still no sound of water hitting water. And I grew concerned, right? Like I had done everything. I had even pointed upwards, but even that didn't work. And at that point, I reached out and switched the light on. I just made better judgment. And turns out there was this old man sitting on the toilet, and I had been peeing in his face the entire time. All fine. The creepy part was he had his eyes closed, and he looked like his salvation had come through, right? Like something like. And then when the pee stream stopped, he opens his eyes, looks at me, reaches out, and switches the light back off. And then I hear a voice in the background go, in the silence go, continue. You guys need to remember I was 6 years old when this happened. And as a 6-year-old, it's pretty much a fantasy to pee on people, right? So I was like, oh, well. Yeah, and then I grew up and I learned how disgusting that was. And I couldn't take it anymore, right? So I broke up with him and left the country. I'm kidding. I'm not actually gay. My wife thinks I'm gay, though. So. But at least my boyfriend doesn't, so I've got that going for me. So I came to the country, right? And new thing here, everyone's got guns, which is super awesome. Except for the fact that I got shot once at a comedy club. I went to a comedy club because I was trying to get into the whole frame of it. And when I walk in, I'm like, so I tried to get the jokes, but all of them were so topical that I couldn't make sense of them, right? I didn't get even a single one. Like one guy would come up on stage and be like, remember Dick Cheney? And I'm like, I don't. I don't know if Dick is his first name or that's just an adjective you're using to describe him. So then there was a third comic who actually had a joke that I understood. He had a joke about Scooby-Doo. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. Though he wasn't very funny, but I was still so on board with what he was doing. that I was giving him a lot of love throughout, right? Like every joke he went like, ha ha ha, ha, I get him, he's funny. And turns out everyone else was just giving him the cold shoulder. No one was even looking at him. And at the end, he goes, "You guys were great. Thank you. I'm sorry." And I get up like all excited. I'm like, and then I look around. There's no one standing. Shit. I go back down. The guy had a gun on him, and that's how I got shot the first time. The second time I got shot, it wasn't as much fun though. This time I was actually driving in a car, and I got pulled over. That's actually a story right there, because when I was driving, I didn't know lights behind you meant you had to pull over. I just thought somebody had to get past me, so I kept changing lanes. And the cop kept following me, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I just switched 4 lanes for you. You're just still following me. Finally, I pulled out, and he actually pulled over. Sorry. That has a different meaning. So finally, I pulled over, and then the cop came out. And background again. In India, when a cop stops you on the road, you're pretty much supposed to show your registration and your license. And if everything looks good, they let you go. And I had my registration in my car's dashboard. So I started reaching out for it, right? While the cop was walking towards me. So when the cop came over and looked in from a window, this is kind of how I looked like. And then he knocked on my door, knocked on my window, and I looked over to him. And I thought I should get this to him in a hurry because I don't want to get shot. So I kept looking at him and kept on reaching towards the dashboard. And then, for some reason, he got agitated, right? And started gesturing frantically. I couldn't make out what he was saying, but I didn't want him to know that. So I just kept nodding to let him know I agree with what he was saying. It kind of looked like this. It was like... And then he broke the window open for some reason. He probably was just a jerk. And then he's pointing his gun at me, and I'm like, maybe I'm just wasting too much of his time. So I start moving faster, right? I'm like... And that's how I got shot the second time. Thank you, guys. You guys have been great. Give it up for Jesse.